Hey y'all, I'm Jessi Harry and welcome back to my channel. If you're new around here, please be sure to subscribe. We do lots of food related content over here, grocery hauls, what's for dinner, easy recipes, things like that. But today's video is actually part of a Crocktober collaboration, and it's hosted by Amanda over at Mom's Messy Kitchen channel. So I'm gonna have her video and Chessa, who's also part of today's video collaboration. Both of their videos are gonna be linked in the description box below. So make sure you go over there and check out their videos as well. They're gonna have some yummy Crockpot meals. And if you're coming over from their channel or from the Crocktober playlist that Mom's Messy Kitchen is putting on, then thank you so much for stopping by. I hope that you stay and become part of my YouTube family. So without further ado, let's get into the recipe. So for today's recipe, I'm making a Crockpot Kickin chicken soup. It is similar to chicken tortilla soup, but just kicked up a notch in spiciness. Very easy, very yummy, and great now that it's getting colder. So first things first, here are the ingredients. We've got one chicken breast. The recipe calls for more. I just used one. It was perfect for my little family of 4. 1 lime, a package of corn, some cilantro, I didn't use all of that, a jalapeno pepper diced up, an onion diced up, fire roasted tomatoes, which is not in the recipe, but I added, some chipotle chili pepper, which is different than the recipe as well. You can use regular chili powder if you want to, or hot sauce as the recipe calls for. Black beans, chicken broth, minced garlic, olive oil, and of course a little bit of salt and pepper to taste. There's my Crockpot insert, so we're gonna get this all going to throw it right in. So first things first is we're gonna get a pan, throw in the rest of our olive oil. So I can saute some of the vegetables, the raw vegetables, get them nice and soft. So I'm just spreading that oil around now that the pan is nice and hot. And we're throwing in all of my onion, some garlic, which y'all know I don't measure that. I just throw some in because I love garlic. The jalapeno. I did mine without seeds. You can leave the seeds in if you want it super spicy. All right, and then I'm just going to stir it all around, get it coated in the olive oil, get it all mixed together so everything sautés nice and evenly. Great, so this is what it looks like once it's sauteed. I do it for like 5 to 6 minutes, and we're gonna take it off the heat. And now we're gonna start throwing everything in the crock pot. So we've got our chicken breast, so just threw it in whole, dumped in my bag of corn, the can of black beans, which I drained and rinsed before adding. I think that's very important. Throwing in my can of fire roasted tomatoes. I love them so much. Our mixture of sauteed veggies, now that they're nice and soft. A teaspoon of the chipotle chili powder. And now I'm squeezing in the 1 lime. I love lime in soups. Lime or lemon, it's my favorite. I love anything citrusy like that. It's just very comforting to me for whatever reason. And yes, I could use a like one of those little squeezer things. I just feel like it never gets all the juice out. I just squeeze it really good, turn it inside out as you can see, squeeze it some more. I want all of the lime juice. All right, and next we're just going to add some pepper and salt to taste. I don't add that much, and then later I taste the soup, and if it needs more, I add more. And we're throwing in that entire carton of, almost called it Chick-fil-A, of chicken broth, which is about 4 cups. And now that that's all in there, we're gonna give it a good stirring. Pop it in our crock pot. So we're putting the lid on, and I'm setting this on high for 3 hours. You can do it on low for 6 if you'd like to. I think the recipe calls for longer. My crock pot runs hot, so I run it where my chicken is not going to be dry, where it's still moist when it's done. So here it goes. All right, so it's 3 hours later, and I've pulled out my 1 chicken breast, and I'm going to shred it with a fork. If you've seen my previous videos, a lot of times I shred chicken with a mixer. It's so much easier. I love it so much better, but since we just had the one chicken breast, I just did it with forks. Honestly, as you can see all the trouble I'm having, I probably should have just done it with the mixer, but it's okay. I put a towel underneath there. We stopped moving around, getting it better, but you're just gonna shred all that up. I think that you can slice it too. The recipe says that you can slice. I prefer for it to be shredded, especially since I use minimal meat. So that way it spreads more through the soup instead of when you just slice it up and you only have big chunks, unless you slice it really thin, and I don't have the patience for all of that. All right, so now that we have our chicken all shredded, I'm going to toss the chicken back into the soup. My crock pot is off. I don't want my chicken to remain cooking. I've completely turned it off, so it's not even on warm. I don't want my chicken to dry out as it sits in there and soaks up the flavor. So I'm just gonna give it a good stir in so it mixes through, and I do want to let it sit there. And I want that chicken to absorb some of the broth, so it's definitely yummy. So here I am putting the lid on. We're gonna walk away for a little bit, and while that's sitting there, I'm gonna dice up some toppings and just get my toppings ready in general. I love toppings for my soup. I like toppings for everything. I'm a topping condiment kind of lady. So we're just gonna cut up an avocado. It's a very easy way to cut up an avocado. I never pull the skin off. I always cut it in half and then slice it long ways, and then you can run a slice also through the middle. You didn't see it right there, but when I cut this next one, you'll be able to see it. Ooh, wild pit right there. So see, I'm gonna cut it long ways. And you can leave it that way, or I just cut it in half. And then to make it even easier, I'm going to take a spoon and just spoon out that goodness. If you already do that, just ignore me. But if you don't, if you have a rough time with avocados, definitely try this. It's how I always do my avocados, unless I just mash it up directly in the skin, because I'm just gonna eat it right out of there. But when I need it for something like this, or to make avocado toast, yes, I'm basic, whatever. I do it like this. It just makes my life easier, and I don't get a lot of avocado under my nails, which always happens to me if I am handling avocado. Next, I am going to get a lime cut up. As I said before, I love citrusy stuff in my soups. So first I rolled it to get it nice and soft. You can also microwave your limes or lemons to soften them. Trick if you don't know. And I'm just cutting them into fourths. Cutting it into fourths. And I'm gonna pop that on a plate with the avocado and set aside. Now that I let the chicken sat there for a little bit, I'm throwing in the cilantro. I probably threw in more than the recipe called for. I love cilantro. I think it's delicious. If you think it tastes like soap, you can ignore this part. You don't have to add the cilantro. Gonna get it mixed up so the cilantro kind of wilts down into the soup. So here's all my toppings. You saw me cut up the avocado and the lime already, and there it is. We also have some shredded cheese. I've got some rice for anyone that wants to put rice at the bottom of their bowls, some chips for toppings, and then more cilantro for anyone who loves it just as much as me, which is honestly my whole family. You could also do sour cream, hot sauce, jalapenos, other things like that, green onions. I love green onions over here. I just didn't do it this time. And here is my soup all done. Oh my gosh. So good. So much flavor with not that many ingredients. Very cost effective, budget friendly. So good. All right, so we're gonna get it all in a bowl, which as you see, I'm making a hot mess. Ignore that. We're getting our bowl filled up. I like it to be nice and brothy. So we're getting all that in there, and then I am going to start adding what toppings I want, which is some avocado, chips, which I added more chips after this because I like a good crunch. Yeah, even more than that. I ate more than that. Some cilantro. And I don't show this, but I did squeeze some more lime over my soup. All right, so here is the final finished product. This honestly, y'all, was so very good. My entire family liked it. It was really delicious, warmed you up. As I said before, it was very budget friendly too. As you can see, I didn't use that much ingredients. It didn't take very long to prep for or to cook, of course, because I used the crock pot. And if you use even less toppings than me, it will take you an even shorter amount of time than me to get it all together. I just really love toppings. I don't know about y'all, but I love toppings on everything, like I said. But I hope that you try this, and if you do, comment below and let me know how you liked it. Also, if you'd like it hotter, add in some hot sauce or leave the seeds in your jalapeno. Ooh, I just didn't want to go too far. I figured people could add in hot sauce as needed. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Also, don't forget to watch the other videos that are linked in my description box. And if you make this recipe, make sure to tell me in the comments below how much you liked it. Hope y'all have a great day. Thanks. Bye.